All right. So I kind of mentioned this in the intro, but I am going to talk about undereating today. And if you're sitting there thinking to yourself, I don't undereat, I'm fine. You're probably undereating. It's very common, like a lot of people are. So, I've mentioned this before, tracking food is not healthy for everyone. I'm able to track my food in a healthy way, and I also, since I've been doing it for a while, it's like I have a pretty good gauge of like around ballpark, like how much I eat in a day without tracking. Some people are not able to track in a healthy way. It can really F you up mentally. But if you're kind of on the fence, you don't know where you're at, you've never tried tracking before, I would recommend giving yourself like a week. Give yourself a nice solid week of being really honest and tracking what you eat and see how much it is. I find with like the majority of my clients that they don't think they're under eating, and then they like tell me how much they're eating or track how much they're eating, and it's like they're under eating by 600 calories every day during the week, and then go out on the weekends and go out to dinner and have a drink and blah blah blah. So it's like almost like they're starving themselves for 5 days and then quote unquote binging on the weekends. And like I want to stop there for a second and just put out like a statement here. I am all for 80/20. You guys know this. I am It's your life, dude. You do what you want to enjoy it and make the most out of it. I go out to eat on the weekends. I go to the bars on the weekends. I have a drink. Um, but it's harmful to our bodies when we're starving ourselves during the week and then eating, like let's say we go out to eat and drink and we're eating a normal amount for our bodies or a little bit over for what our like maintenance would be on the weekends. Your body gets very confused, and that's a reason why a lot of people who struggle to, let's say, lose weight or gain muscle struggle. So I hear it a lot actually with my clients and friends and whatnot that are trying to lose weight. And they're like, I'm eating in a deficit, blah, 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 or like, how much should I be eating? And I see that they're way under eating and then doing whatever, enjoying themselves on the weekends, and their body's in shock. And that's why they're not seeing proper results. I've also seen it with a few of my friends, like even in guys too, being like, what am I doing wrong? I'm eating this amount of calories a day. Like, how come I'm not gaining weight? And then I'll be like, I want you to get a $10 Amazon food scale, or just track everything as honestly as you can and get back to me. And then we'll see what's going on. One of my friends texted me like yesterday, honestly, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to talk about it this episode, just because she kind of inspired me. She had texted me throughout earlier this week and was like, I just don't know. I don't know if I've been feeding my body properly. She wasn't sure. She didn't know. Like, it wasn't like something had tipped her off. She was like, I think I'm just going to count my calories this week and see where I'm at and make sure that I'm eating like at maintenance, like enough to nourish my body. So I was like, yeah, it's a great idea. I'm all for that. Do it for a week. Make sure that what you're eating is enough for you, and then go on your business. Go about your ways. Keep doing what you're doing. Change what you're doing. Whatever. So she got back to me yesterday at the end of the week, and she was like, I'm eating like 18,000 calories a day. 18,000 to 2,000 calories a day. And I'm not like, I don't want to disclose her like personal information or like anything that, like, I just want to keep her identity. What's it called? What's it called when they're like, when someone's like unknown? Not like incognito. Not ambiguous. I can't think of the word, but I'm keeping her identity a secret. That's the point. Like, it's not going to be disclosed. But for like what, like her weight, because it goes off of body weight really, I was like, oh honey, you've been under eating by like 600 calories a day. Like, I'm like, you're based on her weight and her activity level. I'm like, you burn about 2,600 calories on an active day. You got to be eating more. And I'm so proud of her because she's so knowledgeable and smart and just in tune with herself. She was like, yeah, I'm realizing that I'm under eating, and I think it's a problem that I am under eating like 5-6 days a week. And then I go out on the weekends and eat out, and my body's probably confused. And I said, friend who has no name, couldn't have said it better myself. You don't even need me. You got it under control. So I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you're at a point where you're struggling and you feel very frustrated, to be honest with yourself and track for a week and see what you're really eating. I personally never had a problem where I was under eating because I love food and I love to snack, but I didn't realize that I was overeating for like a good 2 years before, like when I started lifting. I thought like, okay, I'm eating like eggs and an English muffin for breakfast. I'm eating a smoothie bowl for lunch, blah, blah, blah. Everything I was putting into my body they were healthy options. I was very conscious of that and like trying to get a lot of protein in. But I didn't count my calories, and I did not realize how much I was eating. I didn't realize like how many calories are in a tablespoon of almond butter. Like all the stuff that my food was adding up to. Like I was like, I'm eating so healthy, why am I gaining weight instead of losing weight? So obviously I've learned a lot throughout my time training and like, you know, just being in the gym and being a personal trainer. And I've learned to fill my body with foods that are like going to satiate me, and in a way that I'm not overeating, you know? Like I eat a lot more. So when I started off, I would eat like 2 eggs and an egg white or something like that for breakfast with whatever on the side. And it would keep me hungry. So now it's like, okay, egg whites are a little bit less calories. They're actually like a third of the calories of an egg. I'm like, I'll dump in the egg whites and I'll have more and I'll be more full afterwards. So just little things like that. And again, I know that not everyone can track in a healthy way. So if you find that it's not healthy for your mindset, my best recommendation in that case would be to talk to a food therapist. Like if you listened a few episodes ago, my interview with Kelsey Collins, she gave very good advice on how she resolved her binge eating disorder, and now how she was able to grow a healthy relationship with food. Resources are out there. I highly, highly recommend taking them. It sucks seeing how many girls suffer from having such a warped, messed up relationship with food these days. It like truly, truly breaks my heart. A lot of it is things that we see online. We create like, this is good, this is bad relationships with food, and then we end up like binging on food because we starve ourselves of it for so long. It sucks. It sucks how many people have unhealthy relationships with food, and there are resources like food therapists out there where if you are fortunate and you have healthcare insurance or can afford it, I say go for it. It's the same thing as like me going to my regular therapist. You know, I got to a point where I was like, I'm unhealthy mentally. I need help. I need help building my relationship with myself. So I got a therapist, and my therapist does a great job of guiding me on that path. Shout out to her. She seriously is awesome. But yeah, so I'm going to go over, I figured like to wrap up my little tidbit here and actually make it educational. I don't know why I said wrap up. To make it like educational, I'm going to give off some tips on how to make sure you're nourishing your body correctly and get to like an appropriate amount of food. So my first tip, if you're not sure what you should be eating for your body, I would highly recommend talking to a trainer, certified personal trainers, at least through NASM, which is what I have, are taught about macronutrients and stuff. So I give out macro plans, really cheap, like $10. I would love to help set you on the right path. You can also read up on it. So basically, I went over this a little bit during my bulking episode a few months ago, but our bodies have a set amount of calories that we will burn every day if we do absolutely nothing. Obviously, exercising makes that number go up since we're burning more when we exercise. So what we burn in a day is called our maintenance calories. So my maintenance, I'll use myself as an example, consists of my basal metabolic rate, which is how much I would burn in a day doing nothing, plus my active calories. That's my maintenance. On a day that I'm not active, my maintenance obviously goes down because I'm not burning as much. The more active you are, the more you burn in a day, the more you need to eat. That's I think that part's pretty simple. You guys are still following along with me, hopefully. So to figure out how much we eat, should be eating in a day, we take your weight, because your weight is your body mass. It doesn't matter your height. It doesn't matter your gender. It just matters the mass of your body. That has an effect on that basal metabolic rate. Somebody who's 100 pounds is made up of less. They're going to burn less naturally in a day than somebody who's 200 pounds because they're double the weight. That's the science there. I lost my train of thought. I was talking about myself. Oh, yeah. So we take our weight and we multiply it by an activity factor. For those that are very, very active, that number is going to be higher because, like I said, you burn more. For those that aren't really active, the number is going to be lower. So there's a whole scale, and you kind of just, you plop yourself where you truly think that you are, or in my case, I would do that for you. And that's how you get it. Easier way, without all that. If you have an Apple Watch, I'm not sure about Fitbit because I only have an Apple Watch. It actually tells you in your health app how much you burn in a day. So I'm going to go into my phone really quick just so I can walk you guys through it. If you want to go along with me, class, students, I will stop now. So go into your health app, the little white one with the pink heart, and go down to, so in my favorites, I already have it, but you can go to show all health data on that summary page. On the top part, it'll say activity. So today, I've burned 476 active calories so far. So it says active energy. Right under that, it says resting energy. And that's how much I've burned so far today. If you click on each, it'll give you a bar chart. And it'll show you what, by week or by month, about how much you burn naturally in a day. So I burn around 1450 calories naturally. That's my basal metabolic rate. Then I can go into my active energy and see the average from there and add those two together. And that's your maintenance. Does that make sense? The Apple Watch one is really, really easy. And again, if you guys, I know that this can be very difficult to understand, especially just hearing me talk about it. But if you're confused, DM me, leave a review, leave a comment. I'm here to help, folks. I truly am here to help, and I have something in my eye. But anyway, after you figure out what you're eating, and let's say you are undereating, sadly, this sounds so silly, but pick more calorie-dense foods. That's really it, People ask me all the time, or I get it from my clients saying I cannot eat this many carbs. I cannot eat this many calories in a day. You can. You just need to choose different options, So, I talked about this a few weeks ago. When I'm cutting, I have 100-calorie English muffins. I love English muffins. I eat them all the time. But when I'm cutting, I'm eating less calories, so I'll use the 100-calorie ones. If you're undereating, if you're finding yourself undereating, do not buy the 100-calorie English muffins. Go for the regular ones that are like 140 or 160. Increase your portion sizes. Add some more like fatty foods into the mix, like almond butter, avocados, have nuts for a snack. Wow, we're going to move on from that sentence. But looking at food labels and picking smarter options for yourself, no matter what direction you're trying to go in, will help you. So if you find the advice I gave to my friend yesterday when she realized that she was undereating, I'm like, take a look at what granola bar that you eat every day. Maybe there's one that has 30, 40 extra calories. There you go. Maybe instead of having an apple, have a banana. Banana's got like 40 more calories than, I said 20 and then 40 and the real number's 30. Like just pick more, like smarter, more calorie dense options. You have to pay attention for a little bit. And then once you kind of get into the groove and know what your body can be fueled on to reach your maintenance, it becomes a lot easier. So it's definitely trial and error. There are apps like MyFitnessPal. I put in my meals the night before since I meal prep. So I can go through the day being like, okay, this is what I got to eat. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry for the guys that are watching me on YouTube. I literally have something in my eye. But yeah, you'll get the hang of it. But I like to plug my stuff in the night before, just meals-wise, see where I can add. Like, I'm like, I'm 100 calories under. You know what? Let me add a little bit more chicken to my plate. Or, like, let me put a little ketchup on or something, When in doubt, sauces, great way to up those calories. And I know this is a very sensitive subject, obviously, anytime I talk about food. So thank you for bearing with me. But it really is something that you guys need to pay attention to. Our bodies are meant to be fueled. Carbs give us energy. So if you're under eating a lot on carbs, you're going to find yourself to be very tired. And I want to close out with this one sentence. Eating at your maintenance will not make you gain weight. It's maintenance. Under eating and then binging on the weekends, that's going to fuck up your stomach. So don't be scared at this whole idea of me talking about increasing your food. I'm talking about those who are under eating, So we need to get up to our healthy levels. Like a max deficit that anyone should be in intentionally is minus 500 of their maintenance. So let's get to a healthy spot, and that's it. I think. I feel like I just rambled a lot, and I don't know if I gave too much educational, or I didn't give enough like educational value points, like learning lessons, but it's something that I want you guys to think of this week and be mindful. I wanted to raise awareness. That's what I should say. Since I see it in a lot of girls, I want you to ask yourself, are you under eating? Do you actually know if you're not under eating? And take it from there. So yeah, hopefully you got a little something out of that. I don't know.